And to go back to your question, he says, how do I think my mother got involved? So to lay the groundwork for that, it was my grandfather and my great-grandmother always wanting all of us to feel like we had value, we had worth, and that, we didn't have to be defined by someone else's label. We could chart our own course. That was how it was. So in our house growing up, one thing that was discussed every day, that was politics, and education. That was just the norm. Every day that conversation was had in some form. So I guess being a kid, I didn't know if it was normal. It just was the way that it was.
Right, it was normal.
So, and then if we weren't being spoken directly to, we're hearing our parents talking to people stopping at the house or people on the phone talking about different things and different events. So I think that's kind of how my mother got involved, and we just kind of morphed right on into it with her. And
so can I ask you, when you talked about politics and education, what kinds of things were you talking about?
Well, a lot would center around voting, the importance of voting. And I remember the day I turned 18, when my mom picked me up from school, we went straight to the courthouse to register to vote. And I did the same thing with my daughter. The day she turned 18, I took her straight to the courthouse to register to vote. They always talked about the importance of voting. They always talked about people that were currently working, and I'm going to use the word the cause, and that is, gaining equality and rights for African Americans. They always talked about how important that was. And that if we didn't take action, or if we didn't speak out, or if we didn't have a voice, then all of this work would go in vain. And then, of course, at some point, a story would come out about, I can tell you about my Uncle Abraham, or, some kind of story. Right. And that kind of tied it together to make you say, well, okay, this must be something I need to get involved in.
Right. Right.
And then when Starkville approached integrating the schools and boycotting stores so that blacks could have jobs in the banks and in retail establishments, that was accomplished, from my memory, through a lot of boycotting. And that was when my mother would get us up on Saturday mornings. And like I said, I was about 8 years old. And we would go downtown, and all the instructions would always be, make sure you stay in the designated area, don't break any rules. And they would give you these really huge signs to put around your neck. And you just simply walked up and down the street for your allotted period of time, with whatever your signs did. So.
Do you remember anything about the signs?
I don't.